Chers compatriotes, comme on s'était convenu, comme annoncé précédemment, il y avait un mémo qui était préparé pour cette rencontre. Nous n'organisons pas les marches ou les manifestations juste pour venir nous mettre sous un arbre et parler et discuter entre nous, et après nous rentrons chez nous, on n'aura accompli absolument rien. Chaque marche, chaque manifestation, de chaque marche est issu un mémorandum que nous avons dû préparer pendant les 2-3 semaines qui sont passées et que nous voulons mettre à votre disposition pour que vous puissiez prendre connaissance du contenu de ce mémorandum qui sera déposé, comme on nous avait dit, lundi, mais on vient de nous apprendre que le mémo peut être déposé aujourd'hui. Across the street. Donc je m'en vais vous le lire et on m'a suggéré par certains d'entre nous que nous puissions répertorier différents États qui sont ici aujourd'hui pour que chacun puisse ramener un mémo ou une copie du mémo dans sa communauté ou dans sa circonscription. Et j'ai accepté la suggestion, je pense qu'elle est bonne. Memorandum. The Congolese diaspora in the United States of America. To His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, Room NL 2058, United Nations, New York, New York, 10017. Concern release of the UN unaltered report on 10/1/2010. Dear Mr. Secretary General, the UN report, a draft of which was recently leaked and published in the French newspaper Le Monde, describes a total of more than 600 incidents in the Democratic Republic of Congo during the 10-year period in which tens of thousands of Congolese people were killed and reportedly implicates a number of groups in the atrocities. This exhaustive UN investigation into the history of violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo has concluded that the Rwandan military and its allies carried out hundreds of large-scale killings of ethnic Hutu refugees during the 1990s that amounted to war crimes, crimes against humanity, and possibly genocide, according to a confidential report leaked to the public. Objective of the UN report. The report was intended to hold the perpetrators accountable, provide the Congolese with some justice for all the crimes that have been committed. Methodology. The UN inquiry was conducted by a team from the UN's Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. More than 1,280 witnesses were interviewed to corroborate or invalidate alleged violations, including previously undocumented incidents, and at least 1,500 documents were collected and analyzed during the 2 years that it took to research and write the report. The timeline. The report has 545 pages long and details crimes committed in Congo from March 1993 to June 2003 that represent the harshest UN account to date of the conduct of the ethnic Tutsi-dominated Rwanda government, which has largely been credited with liberating the country from the perpetrators of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Findings. The UN inquiry, which was conducted by a team from the UN Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights, alleges that Rwanda and its military allies carried out systematic waves of well-planned, highly organized reprisal killings against Hutu refugees in the years after they fled across the border into eastern Zaire, now known as Congo, along with remnants of the former Rwandan military. It also notes that Rwanda's ethnic Tutsi allies inside eastern Congo were also the target of mass killings and persecution. Reaction to the findings. Rwanda's foreign minister, Louise Mushikiwabo, blasted a 500-plus page draft report as fatally flawed and incredibly irresponsible, and threatened to withdraw the thousands of troops Rwanda contributes to the UN peacekeeping operations in multiple African countries in the United Nations if the United Nations moves forward and publishes this draft report. For years, Paul Kagame responded to anyone who challenged his tightening grip on power the way his foreign minister lashed out at the UN by playing the victim card and denouncing the bona fides of these critics. The United Nations. Following request, we have decided to give concerned states a further month to comment on the draft, said High Commissioner Navi Pillay. I have offered to publish any such comments alongside the report itself on October 1st, if they so wish, she added. The corrupt government of Congo. The Congolese government appears to reject the recommendation to create a mixed court, as in Sierra Leone, to judge the most serious crimes committed during the war, saying that it could cause seriously damaging discrimination against judges and other judicial officials, presumably because they would be subjected to outside interference. Instead, they suggest creating specialized chambers within the Congolese justice system. They have decided to challenge the report to protect perpetrators of the committed atrocity because further investigation would encompass them as well. Questions. Is Congo going to get justice? The Congolese justice system is barely functional due to lack of resources and interference by the executive. Any credible tribunal would have to be independent, both financially as well as politically, and able to investigate. 2. Is Rwanda the only nation on earth that has troops in the UN peacekeeping missions? We Congolese people in the United States, given the failure of the United Nations mission in Congo, MONUC and now MONUSCO, to protect Congolese civilians, the invasion of military incursions by Rwanda and Uganda's armies, the silence and passivity of the US and allies, the illicit exploitation of plundering of national wealth by top multinationals who allegedly financed said invasions, the danger of the balkanization of our country, the silence and forgetfulness by the international community concerning the genocide in Congo, where more than 6 million people have died, the failure of the current Congolese government to protect its citizens, the latent and repeated abuses on human rights committed by those leading in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We condemn the invasion and occupation of our country by Rwanda and Uganda. The recent mass raping of women and little girls, and all these atrocities being perpetrated by Rwandans and Ugandans in the northeastern Congo. Those who only tend to govern by protecting foreign investment interests, but do not care about the ongoing economic war in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Assassination by the current leadership of Congo of human rights, journalists, and civil society leaders and its people, while Uganda and Rwanda continue the mass killing in the east. The arbitrary arrest and intimidation of political leaders and also religious leaders in the Congo. The passivity of the United Nations to resolve the crisis of the Congo.